All right, so we are back on the Weight Concept presented by The Ring Magazine. And folks, I have a very important message today. It's pretty simple. Emiliano Vargas just won his 15th fight and 13th by knockout in about 30 seconds on ESPN in Top Rank's last ESPN card in front of a massive crowd at Madison Square Garden. And I'm here to tell you that Emiliano Vargas is the next big thing in American boxing. In fact, he's probably the future of American boxing. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go.
He is the star of W.A.D.E Concept.
Now, folks, if you didn't get to see Emiliano's fight tonight, he fought a guy in Alexander Espinoza who was 20-3 or 23-1. But, you know, looking at his record, it wasn't anything insane, right? He beat some guys with a winning record. He beat some guys that were not great. He lost to some guys that were pretty darn good. But the point is, Emiliano Vargas has been one of the worst-kept secrets in boxing over the last, I would say, 2 to 3 years. Obviously, the son of Fernando Vargas, a two-time light middleweight champion of the world. And I think he's one of 3 of Fernando's sons, but it was almost a certainty that at least one of them was going to have high-level boxing talent. And let me tell you something right now, Emiliano Vargas has that. This kid is only 21 years old. Like I said, he's 15-0 with 13 knockouts. He fights with a vicious spite. I mean, someone that's not looking to get in there and just mess about, not looking to get in there and do the Tom and Jerry, not looking to get in there and leave things to the judges. He goes in and tries to hurt you immediately. He finished this fight tonight, again, against an opponent that had 20 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. Wasn't the greatest opponent in the history of the earth, but still someone that was letting him get his resume built, someone that was continuing to give him experience in the ring. And he did it in front of a packed crowd in Madison Square Garden, and he did it in about 30 seconds. Immediately, he came out looking to throw big-time punches, and the punch that sealed it, folks, when I say he has a nice pull counter, I'm not talking about refining his kitchen area. I mean Emiliano Vargas's beautiful defense to offense transition that put his opponent down. Honestly, it looked like it scrambled his opponent's brainwaves. Like, it looked like it shook him up like he was a dice game and we're about to roll Yahtzee. Like, it was nasty watching Emiliano do what he did in about, again, 30 seconds. That's it, and that's all first-round KO. And the reason I'm so hyped about him is because we're having a bit of a American boxing, especially in the lower weight classes, resurgence. It's like they talk about in other major sports where some teams have to do a rebuild and some teams just replace, right? In American boxing, our heavyweight division isn't great, right? Our cruiserweight division, not the greatest. And we can say that about a lot of the higher weight classes in American boxing, but when we get down to, right, hopefully with Bud at 168, we'll see, but 168 and below, American boxing has had a resurgence over the last couple of years with the likes of the Big Four, as it were, the Devin Haney's, the Ryan Garcia's, the Gervonta Tank Davis, the Shakur Stevenson, the Richardson Hitchens, the Jerron Boots Ennis's. And now we have that newer class that's coming up right behind that generation of fighters. People like Abdullah Mason, who's going to be on that November 22nd undercard, the Benavidez Arthur Yard card, fighting for the WBO World Lightweight Championship. And he's only 21 years old. Emiliano Vargas, only 21 years old. Those two are the future of American boxing, and I say that not just because skills pay the bills, but when I look at Emiliano Vargas, I see the next Ryan Garcia. And yeah, it's a little bit because he has the look, he has the swagger. He's 5'10" at 140 pounds. He's a giant in there with most guys. Like, he towers over people at that height. And he has some swagger to him, something that Ryan Garcia potentially, found and lost over his career. His swagger, his confidence in the ring. We look at that Rolly Romero fight from Ryan Garcia just a couple months ago, and we're like, that's not even the same guy as the Devin Haney fight, or even before that. That's not the same guy that fought freaking Oscar Duarte. That's not the same guy that fought Luke Campbell, who's currently a mayor and a politician. I don't even know why I mentioned that, but the point is, Ryan Garcia used to have a superstar aura about him, and maybe he'll get that back. There's talks about him fighting Rolly Romero in December. The point I'm making is when I watch Emiliano Vargas, and I've watched him over the last couple of years, I'm seeing superstar potential. Not just the future of American boxing, but I'm seeing potential lights, camera, action, superstar, global crossover type of athlete because he does have a look, because he speaks well, because he has, again, confidence, and he backs it up. The same thing I can see with Abdullah Mason, if Abdullah Mason, and I think he will at some point, develop on the personality side a little more. He's a bit of a quiet kid, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, you can be a star and not be a great talker. You can be a star and not be super flashy. Abdullah can definitely get there, but my point for making this video is I am just so impressed with Emiliano Vargas. He might, again, we don't know where he's going to be in the next 6 years, in the next 5 years. But when I look at him now, again, I want to put him at that same conversation we saw Ryan Garcia at 21 years old. Now, granted, Ryan had to get past the YouTuber, influencer, golden boy era parent kind of stick that they put on him, but Emiliano doesn't have that. He just has some real hype. He has one-punch KO power. He also moves his feet a little better. He also, again, at 5'10", he has some physical advantages at 140 pounds that are going to carry him even higher, I think, as he moves up in weight. And, among this crop of boxers, him, Abdullah Mason, Carmel Moton, all around that same level, he's probably got the best upside that we still don't know about, because we know Abdullah Mason's going to be a world champion at some point. And I don't mean that to say he's better than Abdullah or whatever. I think Abdullah Mason's going to be a world champion by the time the month of November's over. He's probably got the most upside that we've currently see. Like, Abdullah Mason looks like the leader of the new class, but Emiliano Vargas still has an air of mystery about it. This run he's about to go on in the next 5 to 10 years, if he's got his head on straight and he can keep everything boxing, he can keep himself centered in that ring, he might be the biggest superstar out of this new class. I'm telling you now, whether he'll have as many championships as Abdullah Mason or somebody else, I don't know, but damn, is he not fun to watch. And again, he's spiteful. Once that bell rings, that kind of pretty boy look goes away, and he is a stone-cold killer. That's why I keep comparing him to Ryan Garcia, because it's what I see in him. I see a kid that has the look, that has the skill, that has the ability, and his father working with him, I think, is the biggest help. He almost gets an added bonus there. Not like you would see sometimes fathers hurt careers and, like whatever, but I think he's the next big superstar in American boxing. I do, and I think tonight was just another indication of that. I thought he would get a stoppage win tonight. I did not think he would do it in 30 seconds. And also, I've seen videos now of Emiliano and his dad talking about how they want to fight Teofimo Lopez, and I'm like, whoa, let's slow down just for a second here, because I don't know if all that's warranted yet. We'll see what happens with Top Rank. Obviously, I think their last show with ESPN tonight, so who knows what happens there. Right now, DAZN is the home of boxing, and that's not even a promo read. It's just the truth. So I genuinely don't know what Top Rank's going to do, what they're going to have Emiliano do. And again, I'm not even opposed to Emiliano taking tougher fights, because he's running through some of these guys like a hot knife through butter. It's probably time for him to step up his competition, but you don't go from that level to Teofimo Lopez. He probably got to, we need to have a couple of fights in between there. So I'd say let's hold off on the Teofimo talk, because Teofimo, again, might be the best. When we talk about all the talent America has at the lower weight classes, I didn't even mention him, and he might be the best one. So we're loaded from 154 down to 130. What happens next for Emiliano Vargas? I don't have those answers, but I know one thing, or at least I think I do. I'm going to call it. I'm going to call my shot. You're looking at the next big superstar in American boxing, and his name is Emiliano Vargas. He's the son of a two-time super welterweight champion of the world. Fernando Vargas has a star on his hands, and Emiliano just has to keep doing what he's doing, getting better. Where will he end up in a year from now, 2 years from now? I don't have those answers, but right now he's on the edge of becoming a star. What does he do next? Guess we'll find out.